Imagine a world where racial equity is not just a goal, but a reality. This vision is at the heart of the 2024 think tank on equity and inclusion set for June 18th at the Hard Rock Casino in Cincinnati. To give us a glimpse into what to expect at this year's event, I'm joined by Ashley Young, Vice President of Interact for Health, who will moderate the panel, Getting to Transformational Change, Power and Policy, and Craig Jackson, Director of Supplier Diversity at Cintas Corporation, who will be presenting on the Chief Purchasing Officer panel. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
All right, so glad to have you here. Ashley, we'll start with you. Can you tell us about how the think tank on equity and inclusion came to be and why you think it's such an important event?
Yes, thank you so much for having us on this morning.
Yeah.
So really it started in 2020 with a lot of the racial issues that we were facing as a community, and really an opportunity to say, how do we address these issues as a community and really get to transformational change? And so I think it's important to create spaces for people to bring their best practices and learn and grow from each other. That's the only way that we're going to really become the healthy, thriving community that we need to be.
Yeah, bring everybody together. You're moderating the panel, Getting to Transformational Change, Power and Policy, presented by Interact for Health. Can you give us a sneak peek into some of the topics that you're going to be addressing?
I'll give you a sneak peek.
Okay.
I really want you to come out so you can dive in deeper. And so really this panel is really focused in on, as a community, we have a lot of pressing issues that are facing our community.
Yeah.
And how do we need to address them, and really thinking about, we need to operate in a new way. Oftentimes when we think about how we arrive at solutions, it's really a top-down approach and very programmatic focus. And so this panel is a dynamic panel. We have representatives from Buckeye Health, Interact for Health, Cradle Cincinnati, really talking about how they've been able to implement strategies focused in on policy and systems change, and really including the voice of community. Oftentimes when we think about change, community is not included. And so really excited to have this dynamic panel that's really going to talk about the work that they're doing and also how this can be translated in other sectors.
Yeah, I love that, bringing people together and learning from each other.
Yes.
Now, Craig, we know that entrepreneurship is one of the strongest ways to build wealth. What are some of the statistics that support the need for these supplier diversity initiatives that you're so involved with?
Well, one of the things we know is that supplier diversity is really entrenched in research. And that research shows that that companies that diversify their supply chain have better innovation, better profits, and more creativity as it relates to the market, the products that they bring to market. And so we also know that as it relates to the direct spend with diverse vendors, there's research out there that says that for every $1 million in diverse spend a company has, 10 jobs are created.
Wow.
So we are talking about
Yeah.
real economic impact for the communities that we live and serve and work in.
Yeah, I love those statistics because it really does show the impact. And you're going to be presenting during the Chief Purchasing Officer panel, which is a strategy. What can we expect from this panel?
We're looking at opportunities that we can do business with diverse vendors like right now.
Yeah.
Last year we did over $80 million. The think tank did over $80 million with diverse vendors as a result of that's part of the symposium. So we want to beat that record this year.
80 million.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's huge. So the special guest is Heather McGee. I know her well. Ashley, for those who may not know her, tell us a little bit about her background.
So she's amazing. Yeah. Just I would say that she's amazing. In short, she's amazing. She's an economist, has done a lot of research around just like America and our economy.
Yeah.
And she has a book called The Sum of the Cost of Racism, and really looking at what's stopping us from really growing as a country. And at the end of the day, it is racism. And so her approach to this book is really about, oftentimes when we think about racism, we think about minority populations really being impacted, but all of us are impacted. And so she travels throughout the country, really sharing and hearing stories from people, and really kind of challenging the way that we're thinking. Because oftentimes we think about things from a zero-sum perspective that she talks about in the book, where that if somebody's winning, somebody has to be losing, and that's not the case. And so she really brings out this concept of solidarity dividend, whereas if we all come together together to really address these issues, we all could win. And so I'm very excited to hear her during the lunch session really just share some of her books, some of her insights, and really for us as a community to really pick up on some of those solutions and be able to implement them in our community.
Yeah, she's been on some of the national news shows, so I know her very well. Yeah. Lastly, where is and when is the event, and where can people go to register?
Yes, so the event is on Tuesday, June 18th, yes, from 8 to 5 p.m. It's at the Hard Rock Casino. And people can go to the Abercrombie Group /Think Tank to purchase tickets. Again, that's the Abercrombie Group /Think Tank to purchase tickets. And that's Tuesday, June 18th from 8 to 5 at the Hard Rock Casino.
Sounds great. I'm sure we'll have that on our screen too as well. All right, Ashley and Craig, thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate you sharing the information about this event.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.